Hey there folks, my name is Pravus. Welcome to an upcoming game called Townsfolk. This is a bit of a casual strategy city builder that reminds me a little bit of a cross between Against the Storm and maybe Civilization. Pretty interesting idea for a game. The demo is currently available on Steam, and it's a little bit deeper than you might think at first glance. Let's go ahead and jump into a new run, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So let's go to a region of the world over here. We'll say the Verdant Meadows. That should be fine, and now we have some objectives that we want to fulfill. Let's go to, let's say, this region right here. We're going to have to explore a few areas and just survive for 30 turns. That seems reasonable enough, a good way to get started. So in this game, you're going to have a camp in the beginning of a new randomly generated world, and you're basically going to have to explore and figure out how to exploit these tiles to get some resources. Those resources include your population, your food, and production to start, though eventually you'll need to worry about things like faith and gold as well. And by the way, this faith icon looks suspiciously similar to Civ 6. I imagine that's intentional, but yeah, not sure how I feel about that. Anyway, so taking a look at this camp here, we want to start getting some food and some population online ASAP. I'm going to go to this desert right along over here, and we're going to say we want to build something. There's a lot you can build. It could be some farms, some houses, woodworkers, churches, quarries, and so on. For now, let's go ahead and build out a house right along here, plus I'll build a farm right along over here. That'll at least take care of some early growth needs. We also can go to one of these mountains, and I'll just go ahead and build up a mine real quick, because this gets me some gold and some production generation, though it is going to cost me population, so we have to get those houses online, or we're going to start running out, and that could become a bit of a disaster. Now, by default in this game, time is progressing automatically. If you just sit back and speed up time, things will happen, but I find that's a bit slow. So what instead I did is turn it into just like a simple turn-based mode. That's a far more consistent method of kind of advancing time. I find it less frustrating. There's also going to be technology in the game. Now, getting technology points I have not found to be very easy or consistent, but there are a few things you probably will want to get. For example, we could go ahead and spend some of these research points to upgrade houses. That could be useful for us. Could also go for a millwright's craft so we can place down better farm adjacency bonuses. That's not bad. And then with the rest of these points, I tend to just sort of sit back and see what the map is going to have to show us. Now, the map is mostly covered under a fog of war at the moment, and I have absolutely no idea what is around. This is where having some early production is really important, so you can start finding out what's in this area and can I get some adjacency bonuses to make my housing and everything else better. Now that we have the mines and the population, currently things are looking at least reasonably balanced. Let's just go ahead and continue exploring the areas around us. There are some deer over here. Sometimes you will find some nice little resources. If I wanted to, I could hunt them. Would cost me some population, but I could get a nice little pocket of food, and some of this stuff does regenerate, which is nice. Sometimes you'll also find some interactables, like a ruin or an obelisk or something along those lines, but I'm not worried about that yet. Let's just always make sure that our resources are in balance as much as possible. Sometimes as you explore, you're going to find these little question marks. These are always going to have some point of interest, so it's worth checking out. This wolf right here could get in the way of things. We could spend some of our population just to clear that out, and I might do that later. What about this boar? This is another one of those hunting situations. Tempting, could be useful. Instead, over here, I'm going to go ahead and build out another farm, because we're not really doing anything as far as producing some food, and I know I'm going to need that. Let's move on to the next turn, see what's around. More deer and stuff? Okay. Well, that's okay. What I want to do is clear some stuff out and place down a mill so I can boost up the effectiveness of the farms. And with the farms looking better, I can start placing down more housing and start boosting up my population. With more population and enough food, I can get more production. You get the idea. So on and so forth. Let's go ahead and advance another turn. Now, I'm not making any population right now, which is kind of a big problem. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and hunt down these boar. Let's just go ahead and kill them. And then I will build another house in this area, since we have enough of this production to go around. Anything else that could be useful to us? Sure, we'll go ahead and explore this region as well. I feel like you should always be exploring as much as you can. More wild animals. This is unfortunate because, well, you have to have a lot of population to deal with all that, and guess what? I don't have a lot of population. So what we might need to do is consider upgrading some of these houses. Now, this is going to cost me gold to do. It's going to cost me more food consumption, but at least we're going to start building up some of that population. And with more population, I'll be able to kill off the deer. With the deer gone, I place down a mill, and then I can get more food, and you get the idea. It's a very delicate balancing act, but I think it has to happen. More mountains over there. Not quite what I was shooting for, but I mean, okay, I guess that is what it is. Let's explore a couple more regions over here, just so I can see more options. So the housing is now done, so we're now producing a decent amount of population, which I will then use once I have enough to get rid of this deer. So let's do that. It gets me more food, buys me a little time to work with. And then right along here, if we can build up that windmill, that's going to boost up the adjacency for these farms. It's going to cost me a bit in terms of population. In fact, I have to wait one more turn to do that. There we go. But now we can go ahead and get that built, and that'll make it easier. And if I can keep building more farms around it, hey, so much the better. Here we go. We have one of those interactables. This is a statue that we can interact with. Let's do that now. It's going to be random what happens. Sometimes it's predictable in the sense that there's like 3 or 4 different rotating events, but you get the idea. The statue erupts into flames, though there is no wood or oil to fuel it. We can spend some of our production to get some science, which is great, but I don't have any. We could also let it burn, or we could flee but lose population. Why would I do that? Let's just go ahead and let it burn, I suppose. We get some faith as a result. Cool, I guess. Is there anything we can do with this? The fire is spreading. Oh, no. We're gonna have to deal with that. So sometimes you're gonna have a crisis like this, and if I don't deal with it, then something bad will happen. Also, we have another bad thing. Shifts out of the realm. A mother bear and cubs were spotted. We could spend some money to gain some faith. I guess I'll do that. Put up warning signs. Stay away from the bear. And yeah, sure enough, the fire is spreading. Cool. If you kill that bear for me, I wouldn't be upset. I'm just gonna say that wouldn't be a bad thing. So maybe you could consider doing that. Unfortunately, I really need to have more production to keep things going. So let's try building another mountain over here, get this mine going. Trying to get more production so I can just explore aggressively, because all I have to do is survive for 30 turns. I don't even need to be, like, extremely profitable, just alive. Let's go ahead and hunt these deer so I can get some food out of the arrangement. That buys me time while I get the windmill up and running. Though now we are out of population. That is an issue. So we're going to have to build some more stuff here. Let's get some more housing. And without more food, that's going to be an issue, so let's go ahead and explore in these regions and see if I can't build some more farms in the range of these windmills so I can get a little bit more out of that. So this house at least stops the bleeding, but we only have 5 days to recover. We could spend some faith, and I will do that. Use this to go ahead and boost up my morale so that we don't just, like, die. That at least settles the issue here. So now we have some population back. I'm just not growing much right now. That's okay. We'll get there eventually. Can we place down anything? Well, yeah, actually, we could try to domesticate some cows if I had some more technology. That does take me 7 research. I could do this. However, I do benefit quite a lot just from the farms in that area, so what I think I'll do instead is for free, I'll go ahead and butcher all these cows, which seems like a total waste, I know, but I'm going to go ahead and just place down some farms in these areas. It doesn't really cost me much. Well, I say that. I actually do need to have more population first, so let's go ahead and build out another house over here. There we go. The fire is either spread completely out of my view or it's put itself out. It's one of the two. I'm not sure which, but okay. Now that we have some population generation, we can go ahead and actually place down a farm there. It only takes 1 turn and another farm here. That should be enough to at least staunch the bleeding. So now all of our resources are back in balance. I wouldn't say we're doing great, but we're okay. I need to survive for 8 more turns. That's all I gotta do. If I do some more exploration, we're fine, which means all I really need is enough production just to finish this out. So if I queue up, let's say, these 4 in 3 turns, that's gonna be enough to at least fulfill my objectives, and we will win, unless there is a big crisis that I am currently unaware of. Wrath of the Skies. Well, that can happen. There we go. We could, for 6 turns, lose some faith. I've got enough that I could afford to eat this. I don't want to lose my food, and I don't really want to lose my production. So I accept this for the moment. We could kill out these boar and then place down a church and start generating faith that away if we felt like we needed to. That said, I don't. Instead, what I'll do is I will hunt this boar. Yeah, that cost me population. But over here, I'll go ahead and build, let's say, a woodworker. Because it's next to a forest, that would be able to get me some additional production. Now, yeah, I need more population first, so I guess maybe that won't happen yet, but soon enough, that could be good. Do we want to place down any more farms? My food production still is really quite atrocious. We could, and I guess I will, because I need to start building up a more useful stockpile right now. So +2, I mean, that's not even really enough for a good upgrade onto the housing. That's kind of my issue. I can do that. We will. Let's go ahead and place down 1 quick upgrade. Cost me some money, not a big deal. We're going to go back down to like 0 food production. But it's fine, because I'll get enough population I can actually start building things again. And never mind, that's the end of it. So we finished a mission. Okay, cool. Not a great score out of the arrangement. I wouldn't say that this was my best performance, but that's kind of an idea how the game, generally speaking, is going to work. Then we can go to other places. So let's say I want to go to this region. We have another objective. Explore and then defeat barbarians. Sure, we could do that. Have a yield of 15 production, and then we just outright win. Or complete some tributes. Now, tributes we haven't had to worry about yet. But periodically, since the king is funding our expedition into this world, we'd have to just give him some resources. And if you don't stockpile enough, you're going to lose the game. So that can get surprisingly kind of tricky. Let's go over here and try building up some morale, because right now this is very low, and that means that when things go wrong, I could be in a lot of trouble. So we'll try doing that. Now, I think there are some barbarians. I'm not sure entirely what that means as far as actually fighting them off, but I guess we're going to find out one way or another. Let's go ahead and build out, as before, a quick farm over here. We want to get ourselves some population growth as well. I'll place these in the snowfield. Placing them close to the camp gets you extra population, so it's really good to do that if you can. Not always an option, but if you can. I'm going to chop down this forest. It will regrow, so that's fine. And I'll also mine up these here, just so I can get some more production, and that means I can start exploring a little bit, so let's do that in a couple of places. See if I can't find any clue as to what other resources are around me, something I can take advantage of later on, I do hope. All right, we need to get some more farms going, that's for sure. We could use the population that I've got to go ahead and kill off these boar, which I probably should just go ahead and do for the food right now. And then we probably can go over here and actually build myself another one of these houses. Now, yeah, that puts me into the negative when it comes to food, but we already saw that we really need to have that population generation. It does make a difference. Some cows over here. Honestly, I'm just going to butcher them again. I don't really feel like I'm worried about it right now. And we probably want to go over here and place down, let's say, a woodworker, since I've got the population to work with, and there's no mountains, which means I'm not going to be able to get much production if I'm not careful. So we've got to do things like that. So now we're busted to +5 here. Still losing food, but we're okay. Let's explore in this area, find out what's going on, if anything at all. And right here, maybe we can discover something else. Maybe there's some more trees or something. I don't know. If we can find anything, that'd be great. I can get myself some more food from the boars, so at the moment, I'm not feeling too scared. Just got to keep building up that production, and if I can't find more, I'm not sure what my options are going to be. Okay, cool. I mean, more cows and bears and stuff. How much does that help me? Answer, it doesn't help me at all, so that sucks. Let's go ahead and hunt you down, get that going for us. I will build up, let's say, another farm. Yeah, I'd like to get some housing and stuff, but we need the food generation to staunch the bleeding. And if I can get myself these wolves out of the way, maybe I can start placing down some more windmills and stuff. I had less technology to start with, though, so I got to be careful with what I get. Let's get the same thing as before. I just think that those end up being pretty beneficial for us. And I will butcher these cows just to keep my food up and running. That's looking fine. And then let's go ahead and start upgrading some of these houses. So yeah, it's going to be a serious issue when it comes to food, but I kind of have to take the risk here, I think. Otherwise, I'm not going to have enough population generation to do things like get rid of these wolves so that I can actually place down windmills. What do we have over here? More shifts of the realm. The cows I already killed apparently are giving me milk. Well, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice. I'm not upset about that. Not upset at all. Let's kill off the wolves. Now that's just completely dealt with. We can go over here and see if we can't build ourselves that windmill. That'll boost up some of that food generation, so we'll be in a slightly better spot. I've got actually a decent amount of production right now, so let's just explore all the nearby tiles and find out what the heck else is going on over here. Now, one thing I don't like is that it does take a long time to do exploration, but it means you need to be very intentional about how you kind of expand. Think about what things could be around and what you're going to want. There's more stuff over here and here. We did find a chest. That's nice. Let's interact with this. What are we going to get? Reactions of the world. A chest filled with stolen goods is discovered. We could distribute the wealth. We could take everything, or we can leave it alone. Its owners might return. I'm going to distribute the wealth. That gets me what? We get some more research stars. Okay, yeah, cool. We're up to 6. I don't think you can buy anything with just 6 because everything increases in cost, so every one technology you get is going to make all future technologies more expensive. So that didn't do me a lot of good yet. That doesn't mean that it's not going to be useful to me later. So I'm probably not going to have the opportunity to domesticate these cows anytime soon, so I'm just going to go ahead and butcher them and just finish it off right now. They do actually come back, as you see down here. If we butcher them, we get the food, and then after 3 turns, the cows are here again, so we waited until the cows come home. Quite literally, that's all we're doing. Let's continue exploring in these regions. We have an objective for that, but I do need to find those barbarians and figure out what we can do with them. And I am concerned about whether or not I'm going to be able to place down... I'm going to wait till the next round of cows over here. I'm worried about whether we're going to have enough population to deal with the barbarians whenever they pop up, assuming that that is how they're going to work, which I don't know for sure. I don't have any money, so I can't actually do much when it comes to housing upgrades. Wish we had some, mountains or something else we can mine, but okay. Let's get another house so I can start building up population again, just a little bit faster. There's a mountain. Okay, so maybe I could place down, let's say, a woodcutter in this area, or I could just chop down these right off the bat. That'd be okay. Found some chickens. I can just go ahead and butcher these guys as well. So food has not been an issue for us. We do need to explore over here. Now, the further away from the base you get, the more expensive it is for exploration. So be aware that is going to be a thing for us. I'd love to place down a woodcutter over here if we can. All right, let's go ahead and get rid of these cows. And we'll place down a farm over here so we can have something more consistent coming in now. So that's looking good. Butcher these. Great. Butcher these again. Good. Got enough population. We could clear out some stuff. I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these wolves. We have a pretty decent amount of population, so what can I build right here? Well, if we don't build anything, then the wolves will come back, so it's important we do that. We could place down the church. Now, I don't have enough population right now, but this allows us to start building up some of the faith, which we could use to purchase divine blessings. I'll be honest, I don't totally know what that means, but it is a thing. The blacksmith is also an option for us. Now, this would cost us when it comes to things like our gold, but it reduces the cost of hunting and fighting, which feels like something I'm going to need. So I wanted to place this close to the population if possible. Unless it makes sense to just place it, like, over here. I mean, you have to place it down next to... Oh, guard towers. Wait, that's new to me. I haven't seen that yet. Hold on. Okay. So... does this affect... So if I place a blacksmith here, it has to be next to one house. It would have reduced my housing down to +5. If I place it down to 2, also +5, +3. So yeah, placing it next to a bunch of housing is a great way of getting a lot of production, but it's a way of losing all your money and a lot of population. So we might need a blacksmith just so we can fight barbarians, but I probably don't want to invest too heavily in that, or that could become a problem for me. So what else is over in this direction? Because I'm kind of thinking I may want to get rid of this woodworker and clear this out for some more housing. And if we can place one down over here, that'd be a way of getting something. Could also place down the mine here, and that's a good way of just getting myself some of that gold generation as well. And we have some barbarians. Okay, so we knew this might be a problem. We're going to have to deal with that now. I'm going to place down probably a tower over here. So defensive structure against hostile enemies. It cost me a lot of population, but I've got that right now, so we're okay. Pillars can be found up over here. Let's interact and see what we can get. Figure arrives claiming to have knowledge of forgotten rituals. We could turn them away or allow it. Fine, I will allow the ritual. What do we get? Critical shortage of faith. Ah! Okay. Well, I'm not going to spend my population to do that, but I may now need to get myself some churches. We have 7 days to fix this. Well, that's not what I wanted to do, but I mean, like, okay, fine. If we have to build a church, we have to build a church. I don't have enough money. I have to wait a turn. Hang on. Fix that. Wait a turn. Get the money. There we go. Now we build a church. So place you here. That at least lets me out of this within the time frame, so I'm not going to lose the game. How long for the guard tower to be done? 4 turns? Really? Oh my god, that takes a long while. I was not expecting that one. Okay, I'm going to... How am I going to do this? I'm going to get rid of you. Let's chop you down, and then we're going to place down another woodworker right over here. I mean, I'm doing okay when it comes to production. Maybe I actually don't care about that right now. I can just let these keep regrowing. That might actually be better, even. I'm going to get rid of this woodworker along here. We're going to chop down this forest, and I am going to be placing down an additional house, because I do think that if we are going to place down a lot of guard towers, I need to have enough population to keep this going. So that's looking fine. Maybe we could place down a guard tower in this direction. I'm not sure. Do the barbarian camps need to be defeated, or we just have to survive 5 rounds of them? I guess we'll find out pretty soon. Is this another bear? Let's see. Yep, it is a bear. We could forever lose a lot of food. I could trap the bear and relocate it, or I could lure it away. I have enough food sitting around. I'm okay with doing that. Cows are back. Just go ahead and execute you. Oh, there was another forest over this direction. We could have left the woodworker after all. It's fine. Let's just go ahead and take care of that. More food coming in. This is looking solid. So I care about just, like, population. Just straight out population. So I feel like I need to start building more towers, unless I'm mistaken. I don't really want to get rid of the cows, so let's keep exploring a couple of areas around and see if I can find some good spots. Maybe. This tower is not done yet. Okay, barbarians, I can fight. What does it cost? 6 population. Oh, okay. Okay, so I can just get rid of them that way. I was afraid they might, like, destroy the tile or something. I'm not sure if that's how it works, but now we don't have to worry about it. Cool. So let's butcher the chickens again. Really might want to consider getting rid of this bear. It's kind of being a problem for me right now. Not a fan of it. Next turn, what's going to happen? Church is done, so we're now generating that faith. We'll have time. Another round of pillars. Let's interact with those as well. They just caught on fire. Cool. Pillars must be danced around every full moon. Well, I can't afford to do this. We could do a town-wide dance and get a lot of science. And this is where, like, I'm not really sure why I would choose anything else. This seems great and everything else seems bad. Like, why Why wouldn't I do that? What's the downside? And it's very unclear to me what it is. We could boost up the yield of faith from churches. That could be another technology. Unlock woodworkers and boats. Maybe academy. Could get some research this way. Yeah, let's get some research and see if that'll work. What's the next technology? 9? Okay, so we can afford to buy one more. Observatories are an option. Improved windmills. We could upgrade those. That could be an option. Better butchering if we worked down that direction. I don't know. I think for now I'm just going to hold off. Let's not build anything yet. If I wanted to go over here and build up a school, what would that take for me? That would take a chance to generate knowledge points. It would reduce my food and population, but not by a ridiculous amount. I just need to have lots of production. Okay. I mean, like, once the next round of trees pop up, like, that's completely fine with me. So, okay. Lots more exploration getting done. We found some more of the barbarians. I don't mind fighting these guys. 13! Woo! Okay. Well, we have enough population. We can just go ahead and deal with them. So that's 2 done. All right. So we'll see how many just keep popping up. Found more of the cows. Butcher you all. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Bessie, but it needs to happen. You must die. For me, it must be done. I really need more production more consistently, don't I? We could place down more mines. I'm going to go ahead and just keep chopping for a minute. We have to place down more mines, right? Like, if I don't get some general production, like, we're not going to get the 30 that I need to start building down things like schools. Pretty sure. So, okay. Let's see what else we get. More barbarians just appeared. To fight you, it would be 20. Yeah, see, this is where having a blacksmith would be nice. Because it would reduce the cost of population to fight these guys. So I feel like that's something I also should work toward. Let's go ahead and chop you. So that's now done. Do I really care that much about technology? Probably not, if I'm honest. Let's just wait a turn, see what they do. Nothing. Okay. We've got the production coming in. Food's not looking good, but I mean, like, whatever. It's fine. We got so many things we can butcher. I'm not worried about it yet. I really wanted to explore this region because it's a good spot for me to place down a blacksmith. What exactly is this guard tower going to do, though? It looks like in surrounding areas, it provides, like, a bonus. So I'm guessing if the barbarians walked through here, then it would be cheaper for me to kill them. Probably? I don't know. Let's upgrade another house. I'm going to have more population growth. Kind of important. Here they come. They're going to do stuff. I assume they're going to try to destroy my stuff. It says that they're sleeping right now. So let's actually wait a turn, see what happens. Oh, good, more cows. Well, this time I'm actually going to butcher you. Sorry, it's going to have to happen. So let's place down a blacksmith. And that is going to reduce the cost of fighting, which I think is probably worthwhile. The food could become an issue pretty quickly, but maybe it's fine. Butcher. And we'll butcher again. And I have enough population. How long is this going to take to build again? 5 turns. That's too long. Let's just go ahead and fight these guys and deal with them. Just so I don't have to worry about them destroying anything. I could just see that becoming a problem very quickly. More forests popping up. Now, I do think it's a little bit too easy, the fact that I can just chop these things down and they regrow. It does mean that there's a degree where it's like, yeah, I could place down like a woodworker, but I'll get like, 2 per turn or whatever at the cost of population, and population's more important. So, like, why would I want to care about that? I do think that maybe they shouldn't regrow. Or there should be, like, a chance that they get exhausted as a resource. Or something along those lines. You know what I mean? I think that that could be maybe just generally a bit more fun. We could place down maybe some additional windmills, and that could be a way of getting more food. But I have such a stockpile that even if I'm losing a little bit, do I care that much? I don't know. We found a pyramid. Let's interact with this thing and see what's going to happen with it. The pyramid's entrance is sealed. We could stay back, we could step inside at the cost of faith, which I have, or we could examine the entrance. I'll just spend some faith for a bit of science. I mean, that doesn't seem like a horrible option for me. So with 11 points, I mean, what do I want, though? Like, really, though? What do I want? If I go down a bit more, we could reduce the cost of exploration. That's all fine. I think I'm just going to go ahead and just improve my millstones, and over here we could go for an upgrade. This is going to cost me what? Costs a lot of population to build and some gold, but like it's going to boost up my food generation by a pretty good amount. Of fire! Nah! Okay, what's going to happen? We can use manpower, save what you can. I'm going to use manpower and just get rid of it because I know what can happen. Those can just spread, and that would be bad for me. I don't want that to spread. Chop down more of the trees as well as the cows. I do see a little lake up here to the north. We can go and interact with the pond. What do we find in this area? Glint of metal. We could spend some of our production to get some money. I mean, like, yeah, I guess I'll do that, but I've got decent enough, like, production value, I suppose. It's okay. What else could I do? We said we wanted to get maybe a school, but now I'm kind of wondering if I even need that, truth be told. I could just build more housing instead. Let's explore in this area. Just see what's over there. It might make some sense to just go ahead and place down some more housing. So there's my blacksmith done. So that's going to cost me a bit of resources, which is why I want to get more population. But if it's now cheaper to fight, that's pretty good. That is a massive windmill. This is freaking huge. What can we do with the camp? We could upgrade this to a mansion since we have a lot of money, and that's going to boost up, I think, the population even further, as well as some free production. Hello, we found some barbarians. It looks like they got shot at. Oh, good. That's very good. So as far as fighting you, it cost me 24. What's the point of having a freaking blacksmith? What's the point even? I don't even know. It's fine. It's fine. Chop you down. More trees. We're getting a pretty decent city here. This is a relatively easy map, I think. Yeah, actually, I managed to kill these guys. Okay, so the towers are actually good if you know where the barbarians are coming from. I rarely know where the barbarians are coming from, but if you did, it would actually be pretty great. We'll go ahead and place something there, do some more exploration around these areas, see if we can't find anything. It just takes too long to build the dang things. That's the issue. If it didn't take so long, it'd be fine. We could actually build a tower over here or over here, and that would be a good way of defending myself, making sure that we never have any issues. I'll go ahead and build one more tower over in this direction. And we can't do it. Can we do exploration? We're already exploring that. Let's explore over here as well. Okay, so a lot of more things that we're trying to reveal right now. A lot more food popping up, though I'm not having any issues with food anymore, and that's with only 3 farms, so it's pretty great. Why would I bother domesticating these guys is one question I would have, I suppose. Because you can do that. You can domesticate them, and they just provide food every turn, but like they respawn like every 3 turns. It's practically 2 food per turn just for existing. Like, who really cares? I don't know. Anyway, so that's all looking fine so far. So now we just need to keep building up that population and wait for the next round of barbarians. Let's get myself another house. Maybe even another one. I don't even think I care about this deforested area. I just care about having enough population to kill one more round of barbarians. I don't know where they're going to come from. Oh, wait. There they are. Well, guess what? This tower is not going to be done in time, is it? It needs 2 more turns. Dang it. All right. Yeah, we need population badly. Another pyramid. What can we do with you? Well, that's a great question. Let's interact and find out. Come on, let me interact with you. Thank you. Let's find out what we got. We have just faith and stuff. I mean, yeah, again, I'll just spend the faith. It's fine. It's not a big deal. We're losing a lot of food now, but I don't care, and I've got to figure out how to deal with you. What do I need to fight you? 24? I can deal with you next turn, actually. We're generating enough population, so that's good enough. They're moving into the mountains. You can do that? I didn't even know that was an option. Hey, look, my tower's done. I could just shoot you. Let's just let it do that. Let's just see what happens. There we go. Kill him. All right. Does that weaken them and make it easier? No. Interesting. So as they get shot at, it doesn't actually make it easier for me to finish them off. Let's just see. And yep, there we go. Now they're dealt with. So they survived 2 rounds. You feel like maybe half the population ought to die, therefore it's easier to finish them off, but I guess not. Whatever, it's done. We finish another mission. Cool. We get some score, and we conquer a region, which is great. Boosts up morale, and now we have access to even more regions that we could do. So in this one, consume resources from a deposit 80 times, and then have a yield of 10 faith. Easy enough to do. Over here, interact with pirates. If you can do that, you get some sort of a card. Construct all structures in 2 days. That seems like a really, really good reward to place down here in my favor cards, right? Like, that's the idea. So this game's kind of cool. It's fairly chill. It's fairly relaxed. It's not as competitive as something like Civilization might be, but kind of like Against the Storm, you're walking into an unknown situation and you need to adapt based on the objectives and the terrain that you are seeing. I think it's a fun little chill game. Now, whether it's going to have a lot of legs is going to depend on like how crazy do some of these maps get. At the end of the day, a lot of people want to build giant sprawling city builders. So, I don't know, maybe it's just going to have, like, a few of these regions are going to have long, long games that take, like, 200 turns to complete. Who knows? I think it's at least interesting, and it's worth trying out the demo to see if you enjoy this game. So if you want to do that, there's going to be a link in the description down below. I'd encourage you to click on that and find out if Townsfolk is going to float your boat. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, I'd ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe to that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.